Why is Jake Paul on the cover of Sports Illustrated? Yeah, that's a good question, and definitely going to piss off a lot of people.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So this month, we are going to watch the most anticipated fight probably since a Sugar Ray Leonard versus Tommy Hearns. You could call it the fight of the century. You could call it the fight of the decade. It is arguably, pound for pound, the two best fighters in the world fighting against each other in their prime, both undefeated, both champions, fighting against each other in the glamour division, the welterweight division. Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. This is basically Michael Jordan versus LeBron James in the sport of boxing. It is the fight that every boxing fan has been asking for, and now we are going to see it this month. But yet the biggest sport magazine in America, Sports Illustrated, they decided to put Jake Paul on the cover of their magazine, coincidentally the same month that Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford are fighting against each other. And guess who's actually doing the story on Jake Paul? It's Chris Mannix. For those of you guys who don't know, Chris Mannix, he works for Sports Illustrated. He actually worked for Sports Illustrated before he worked for DAZN. So just the fact that Chris Mannix actually works for Sports Illustrated, that kind of gives you an idea of where they're coming from. This was obviously a slap to the face of Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence and boxing in general, and it was deliberately done. This reminds me of when Floyd Mayweather beat Manny Pacquiao, and ESPN, they gave the Fighter of the Year award to Ronda Rousey. Coincidentally, the same year that Ronda Rousey lost. And now Sports Illustrated, they put Jake Paul on their cover the same year that he loses. Jake Paul, he lost to Tommy Fury earlier this year in February, and he decided to walk away from the rematch. But because of his hope insurance that he carries, he still finds a way to be rewarded. You know what's so crazy is, even if they weren't going to feature real boxers, the biggest fight of the century, and they wanted to put an influential YouTuber on the cover of Sports Illustrated, they should have put a KSI on there, because KSI has already accomplished what Jake Paul is trying to. KSI has already beat two professional boxers. And what's equally impressive is the fact that KSI partnered up with DAZN. He signed a massive deal with DAZN. They gave him his own promotional company to host his own fights. The promotional company is called Misfits Boxing. It's all of the YouTube influencer boxers, and it's been extremely successful on DAZN. In fact, KSI has been more successful on DAZN than Eddie Hearn has been, because KSI hasn't lost nearly the amount of money that Eddie Hearn has lost for DAZN. So if any influencer deserves to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated, it should have been KSI. Not to mention he's still undefeated as a pro, and once again, he's already beat two professional boxers. You heard that clip at the beginning that I played for you guys where Jake Paul, he was saying, I know this is going to piss off a lot of people that I'm on the cover of Sports Illustrated. What obviously makes this extremely offensive is the timing of it. It would be different if they just threw Jake Paul on the cover of the Sports Illustrated magazine when there was nothing going on. But instead, once again, they do it intentionally, the exact month that we're seeing the biggest fight in decades. And this is obviously because America's old media, they feel that in this fight, they have no one to root for. You have two Americans fighting against each other. There are no foreigners fighting against an American, meaning no non-black foreigners fighting against an American, which is why Sports Illustrated, they did put Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather on the cover, because they had someone that wasn't from America, that wasn't black, to root for. You know, what's really unfortunate is you have so many boxers, so many people of influence in the sport of boxing that can actually say something about things like this that will shine a brighter light on this situation. That's why I give credit to people like Kevin Cunningham. You know, Kevin Cunningham, he came out and he actually did address this. He said Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford, the biggest fight in decades. Where is their cover on Sports Illustrated? More people in the sport of boxing need to speak up. We know a lot of boxers are quick to take to Twitter and Instagram when they're ready to diss another boxer. But when it comes to things like this, bigger issues, everyone goes silent. And this is the reason why people claim they love Muhammad Ali, because Muhammad Ali, he stood up against injustices like this. He had no fear. He stood up against double standards. And I don't know why boxers have fear today, because they really have nothing to lose. I mean, outside of a couple of racists posting comments on your Instagram or your Twitter, but why would you care about what the racists think? Muhammad Ali didn't care what they thought. Just food for thought. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, the fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Diki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodiki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.
My name is Chris, and I'm all the way here from Anchorage, Alaska at Scalp Carolinas, and I'm here for my second treatment of SMP. Well, I was sitting at home one day and going over my Facebook page, and they have different, like advertisements popping up, and I saw one for SMP, and I saw some pictures of some guys, before and after, and I was looking at that, and it caught my attention, so I Googled it. SMP, nothing showed up in my area. So, I did a little more research, and all of a sudden, Scalp Carolinas popped up in the web browser. So I started watching his videos and seeing all the reaction from all the other people. We talked on the phone, we made appointments and everything. I sent him pictures, and he looked at them, and I was like, "Can you fix this?" And, he pretty much said, "No problem." My first session, he made me feel extremely comfortable. It was almost like I was talking to family. He started, and during the whole treatment, we talked and, about our families and our life, and, and things that he does and things that I do. And before I know it, the first session was over. When you see someone doing something that they love, as much as I see Enoch Glover love what he does, it shows in his work. I wouldn't point anyone in any other direction but here to North Carolina, Scalp Carolinas, to get this done.